Hello, here we are, Diana and Dan. We're in a beautiful country setting in Petaluma, California. We just wanted to do a brief little update and check in about our work with the Sophianic mysteries and how Spirit is moving through us these days. The wind is blowing, and so the wind has spirit.
The wind of spirits, yes. The winds within us.
Yes. How are you, Diana?
I'm doing really well. I've been really, Sophia is working me. She's, I'm being very inspired. There has been a particular emphasis on the Sophia Christos, or Christos Sophia, balance between the masculine and the feminine, and really having a focus on that in several different ways at the moment that are all percolating, and we'll see where they're going to go. But very powerful, very, very much needed on the planet. Sophia came through during our, we had an online evening gathering circle where she came through very strongly and said that it was imperative that the feminine be raised in equal partnership with the masculine it was necessary before many consciousness could really fully change on the planet. And I am being called to play a role in that, like we all are. So again, yeah, it's things are percolating.
Diana has been, the creative juices have been flowing.
Yes. Which are always feel good.
And it's exciting. And just the theme of really sort of rebalancing and reclaiming the feminine power on the planet.
Yeah.
So
and just to kind of flesh that idea out, I think we can all see that there's so many areas that we can look at in our world that are out of balance. But in particular, I think that the impetus for the gathering, the circle that we had, was Gaza. And no matter what way you look at it, where you're coming from, on what lens you're looking through about that situation, ultimately, it is the lack of the feminine qualities on this planet being honored, and that has allowed this horror to take place. There's wars there and discord there for thousands of years, literally. And then most recently, of course, which was sparked with October 7th. And, here we are, June 2nd, and things are really heated up there. Yes.
Yeah, quite devastating, with no real end in sight.
Yeah.
And the trauma that happened on October 7th was so serious, so significant, and that ignited the Jewish nation to respond, and inflicting tremendous levels of trauma. And so that's a little bit of the lens that I'm working with currently in our dovetailing of the Sophianic mysteries, and that is being aware of how trauma closes us off from our pure inner self, and that when we are closed off from that innocence, and in a sense that openness and vulnerable part of ourselves, that then we can resort to acting out and being in defense and inflicting violence on others.
Right, perpetuating.
Yeah.
Horrors of which we may not have seen to this level. which is kind of hard to imagine, but at least that's what we're hearing. And that, I do think of this as the ground zero for the consciousness of humanity. But, we're in the balance right now. We're hanging in the balance. And where are we going to come out as a species when this is over? More tolerant of absolutely inhumane conditions, or less tolerant. So there's a lot there. There's a lot of opportunity there too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so how is the situation in the Middle East activating us? And I think it's activating DiDana in a way that is mobilizing the efforts to mobilize women. And for me, it's activating the mobilization of the reclamation of the divine inner self, and that each of us is responsible for working through our trauma and getting to that place where we can be able to have compassion towards our fellow man, fellow woman. And of course, this is, such a global vision that's how do you see this playing out in governments, in corporations, in tribal conflicts, neither, of these sort of lenses of the woman and the innocent inner self are necessarily sort of immediate direct solutions, but they are ultimately, I think, the most sort of significant and important solutions in the long run.
In the long run, yeah.
To generating the change and really bringing back the divine feminine, bringing back the spark of Sophia, the Christos Sophia, the Shekinah, as it's connected to source creation that is not bound and interfered with by lower God forces.
Yes. Yeah.
So we set the prayer for that today.
Yes. Reclaiming that feminine aspect of the divine and within ourselves, whether you're in a female body or a male body, and bringing that back into balance. Because like you just said, the response is to kind of go above, because we're looking at the horror in Gaza right now. But at the same time, there are many, many other wars. Just for one, the war in Ukraine going on. So, it's not just about, it is about stopping this, but not just about stopping this war, this particular situation. But how do we kind of go, in a sense, around and above that? And I believe that the core issue is the balance between the masculine and feminine, and of course each person's individual self and individual spark and higher connection.
And the balance of a masculine and feminine deity, and not just the angry, jealous God, but the embracing, all loving, feminine aspect of deity that we've tended to get cut off from.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
There we go. See you next time.
See you next time. Thank
Bye.
you.